Okay, started working on the space capsule. The instructions show you to start with the astronaut and then go into the cockpit, start working. What I'm going to have to do to get the decals to work out right, especially on the center console. I may have to do it on this one as well. I may have to go in and sand a lot of this, a lot of the detail off. I don't know how well these decals will suck down around the instrument panel. Let me find the right ones and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Yeah, like this panel here goes on this side, and of course I drop it. Okay. See the detail there. Some of the higher buttons, like in that bank of buttons up in the corner there, I may have to do away with those. I'm not sure. But I'm going to try it. I'm going to make a copy of these decals. That way, if I have to, I can maybe print up another set. This panel here goes in the center. We're going to give it a try after I get it painted, of course. What I may do is, I believe what I will do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to knock the high buttons down, the switches. I'm going to knock those down. That way when I put this on, I don't have to worry about it distorting the decal, and I think it'll sit down better. But anyway, this is just mocked up to give you an idea of the size of this thing. Like I say, it's going to be 10 inches long when it's built. I did go ahead and I've got the collar glued together, and this is just sitting on there. Like I say, just kind of got it mocked up. You got to build the capsule in and around the interior, the cockpit. So, and this is just it's not glued on or anything because I've got to do all the painting. Got the astronauts together. I've got to go in and do seam work, get him all sanded down, and I'm gonna get these guys get the seam work done and get the primer on them. Let me get this one out of the torture chamber here. That's what you're looking like there. And if I can, I had this done earlier today. Let me give it a, and that's what it's going to look like. It's a little offset there. Anyway, you get the idea. And then the doors will open. The doors, like this door swings out. Hold on. Yeah, the door swings out. So this door will swing out this way, and this door swings out the other direction. So got that down there, and everything's falling all to hell. Started putting the detail parts on here. Got all the added detail onto this, and then there were just 4 pieces that went on that. So I'm going to go ahead and get everything, all the sub-assemblies done first. That way I can get them all primed. I'm going to sand what I see is going to be problem areas. These are all the tanks. You got oxidation tanks, you got thruster tanks. Here's the oxygen tanks. So got to get all those put together. This thing has just see the injector pin mark there and on the door, inside the door. So I got to do a little work with that. And there was another spot that had an ugly injector pin mark, and now I don't remember where it was at. Yeah, I don't remember. Oh yes, I do. Let me get my pointy stick. You can see them right there is one, there's one, there's a little hiccup there, and there. I mean, they are all over the inside of this, so I'm going to sand them down the best I can just to get, with this thing being like a cup, it's going to be kind of difficult to get a sanding pad down in there, so I've got to figure out, not figure out, but I got to do a little different technique to get that knocked down. Too bad they couldn't have put them here because this is going to be hidden. But that's not what model companies do. Most of them put ejector pin marks right to where everybody can see it. And you got the, I'm not sure what that says over. Get the light reflect on it. Oh yeah, well it says Revell. Got a light on there right there. Come on, light. There we go. Right there you can see the name. Gotta get that knocked down. But working on it slowly. These main housings here, all that gets white, and then interior green on the inside there, and on the inside here the cross member gets to be interior green, and then it has red tanks and yellow tanks and tanks a lot, right? Okay, so that's it for right now. So I'm going to continue working on it, and I'll see you in part 2. Okay, here's a little update on the capsule. Got the inside of the ring painted with the interior green. It's showing a little darker on screen than it actually is. Put a base coat of white on the outside here. I'm going to go back in and mask all this off, and then shoot the outside white again. This is the cross member where the thrusters are. I'm going to go in and put a little black wash inside those, but this goes in here like this. Hang on. There we go. Goes in there like that. Been working on the inside of the adapter. I called this a coupling in the last video. This is actually called the an adapter. Just got those glued into place. I've started painting on the other parts. Here it is. Here's one of them, and I just dropped it. I'm working on painting on the canisters that actually mount to the side there. Got to go back in to do a lot of detail painting. There's a framework that goes in there as well, and I haven't started painting on any of it yet. I still got a box of parts here to go through. This is the framework that I'm working on, that the canister set there goes in. Finding a contradiction. It calls for this piece here, calls for this piece to be blue and this to be khaki color, and I'm not finding corresponding pictures for it, but I'll get it lined out. I haven't done anything on the cockpit, just got it primed. I painted the heat shield. It's out on my porch. I've got a screened in porch on front of my house. It's out there drying. Got the base cleaned up. What I'm thinking about doing on the base is sanding that off, because I'm going to have a big wooden base sort of like what I did for my astronaut in space. I'll show that base here. So I'm going to go with something like that. With a plaque, it'll probably be, well, it goes, let's see, I think it goes, now that's the front of it, so it'll be off to the one side, and then I'll put the plaque over here. So I'll get that lined out, that's no big deal. I got the capsule primed, and I don't have the, as you see, I don't have the doors or anything on. I've got to go back and I'm going to paint that satin black. Actually, what I'm thinking I'm going to do is right here, is this it? Nope, this dark forest green, so this must be it. Yeah, I'm going to use a Delta ceramic coat, charcoal, add a little black to it so that's not stark black. I will get that painted, and then I'll clear coat it so it's protected, and I'll start working on the interior. The inside, I'm going to leave the inside gray because what I've decided to do is, like I say, it calls for light blue on the cockpit, or in the cockpit, but I'm not finding, like I say, I'm not finding corresponding pictures. What I see on the cockpit, it's, you know, there's very few color pictures, and so the color pictures I'm finding, it's light gray, or you know, or medium gray, but it's more like a light gray, and so that's probably what I'm going to go with. Hadn't started working on Chris's trunk monkeys yet, and I say that lighthearted. These are astronauts that are, you know, they're not too badly molded, you know, especially for what they do. They just sit in the cockpit. They're not doing anything but waiting patiently to be blasted into space or whatever. You know, I don't like the position of their hands and everything, but it is what it is. So I'm going to start detailing this. The suits will be silver and the helmets will be white, and then, you know, just flesh on the face and everything. Gloves will be a dark gray. So, but that's where I'm at right now. So this is part 2. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next part. Alright, here's an update on the capsule. Got all the decals on here. There was a bunch of decals that went on this thing. And, some of them right here on the end has got a little silvering. There's quite a few decals that went on that. Got the interior of the cockpit finished. I had to sand away some of the detail on the panels to get the, because the decals are more compressed, more compressed than what they are on the actual raised detail on the cockpit, the instrument panel. I just kind of tossed a little bit of a wash in there to bring out some of the detail on that. This is still pretty much, I actually took a step back with this. I got the black maneuvering thrusters in position. Those are all mounted and done up, and everything's looking a little green because I readjusted. My mat here was looking very faded green, so I readjusted the white balance, so everything is a little bit more true color. It's just a little more enhanced. I repainted that, which I've got to go back in and do a little more. But what I took a step back in the last update. This was mounted in, and you can see the white spot down there in the bottom. Knocked it off a table here and popped that out, which was a good thing. You know, I shouldn't have put that in as quick as I did. I build most of my kits my way, and I don't look at the instructions. I look at instructions for, you know, particular things, but as far as I don't necessarily go by instructions. I build a lot of sub-assemblies and everything, so being able to put all these other parts in here, that was going to be kind of in the way. So with me knocking it off the workbench, that was kind of a help. In here I'm working on getting all the other parts, pieces and stuff painted up. I've got to go back in and do some detail on this. The strapping is a different color, and I've got to do the instrument panel and flat coat it, tone everything down. I got the astronauts all seamed up and the coat of white paint on them, which I will go in and I'm going to clear coat it good, put the decals on it. I'm going to go in and paint the strapping first, the seat belts and everything, and then I'll put the decals on the astronaut. There's a flag that goes on the shoulder, and name badge, and NASA, and several decals that goes on these guys. And probably going to do this like I did the Ed White spacewalk figure. I'm not going to paint the face or anything. I'm just going to paint the shield gold, and the inside of the shield is going to be gold, so you'll never see the face. I suck at painting faces, so after I get it all the detail painting stuff done, I'll clear coat it, detail painting and the decals on, I'll clear coat it, and then go in and put a wash on it, and just detail out around the helmet here. And this he won't take much more to get the two astronauts done. Over here I got more parts, working on getting those detail painted. This, I'm not liking this at all, so I'm going to end up stripping that. So but that's where I'm at right now. Things are progressing a little slowly, because like the X-Wing there, I've been doing other things. Had to take a little break away from this guy. You know, once you do something for a bit, then you got to go back in and take a little break from it. So, but that's where we are on this update. So stay tuned for the next one, which the next update will probably have all the capsule done. I'll be working on the base. I've finally decided how I'm going to do the base. I'm going to go in and I'm going to sand this off so that's all nice and flat, and I'm going to glue this down to a piece of wood. I'm going to cut a piece of wood to a shape that I've come up with that I like. Excuse me. With the capsule being 10 inches long, this has got to be pretty much centered, and I was trying to put it down on a piece of wood, and the way this base is angled, it wasn't giving me enough room to do my plaque. So I've come up with something that I'm gonna like a lot better, and so I'm gonna go ahead and get all this finished, and then the base will be the last thing I work on. Okay, well, here is the final on the 1/24 scale Gemini space capsule by Revell. Had a lot of fun with this. Had a lot of decals that went on the capsule itself, and painted. This is a mixture of Delta Ceramic Coat charcoal gray with a little bit of black in it. I didn't want it to be. You can see how this is actually satin black, and then you can see the difference there. Very nice kit, very fun kit to build. You can see the inside of the adapter there. Now I have to point out that there are two things missing. There's supposed to be maneuvering rockets on each side. I lost them. It's just a plain, simple, stupid maneuver, but I lost them. Had them in a box, and I knocked a box of parts over and it was the same time that I knocked the adapter over, and you seen in the last video where I showed that I broke that one piece back out. And but I'm not gonna let it bother me. Like I say, it was a kind of a stupid maneuver on my part. I'll show you the plaque here that I made, the nameplate. It's showing up kind of brown in the camera, but it's actually black. It's not as black as the base is, but cut my plexiglass a little too big. You can see on the corners here how it's hanging over just a tad, but that's fine though. But oh, sorry. And then up here you see the decals along the nose of it here. Where's my pointing stick? See the decals all along the nose of it here. Then the white stripe, that's a decal. And then you've got the United States there, that's decal of course. Those were painted on. You can see decal right there on the side of the door. And there's various decals underneath of it as well. You can see my astronauts. The solar shields, their visors are looking in the camera looking brown, but they're a gold in person here. So, but really like this build. I'm gonna back this back out a little bit. I don't understand with a model as big and awkward as this is, how they could supply just that as the base. It stood okay, but it was very precarious, which I wanted to do a bigger base anyway. But that's it. I say that's the 1/24 scale Revell Gemini space capsule, and the doors do close up with no problem, and when it's closed you don't see the astronauts. And I'll explain why I did the solar shields, their face or visors in gold, is because when they're inside the capsule with the doors closed, they have the clear visors, and before they open the doors to expose them to the outside space, they would pull down the solar visor. So so the gold is representing the solar visor like that. So just a little bit of information on it. So appreciate everyone that followed along on this build, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.